Hey guys, Mr. Carey here, 2-6, part 2, word problems and coming up with a plan. So basically, in third grade math, you're going to see a lot of different math problems where you have to use your judgment and figure out what kind of math you would need to do. And like in today's lessons, it's like 2 steps, where instead of just telling you it's 21 cups, they might tell you one person is 10 and one person is 11, and then they break one. How many cups do they, have or whatever? You'd first have to figure out, okay, you have to add to figure out how many cups they have, and then they break one, so they'd have to subtract because of that, like a second step. So they'll be missing information, and so sometimes they'll tell you like, what is the missing question? What that means is just like, what do I have to do first, basically? What do I need to do first to solve this problem? And then I can go and solve the problem. So a really important thing for you to do is understand what each one of these math powers does, okay? So there's 4. There's plus, minus, times, and divide, and we use them for different things. And you don't want to just be that guessing, like plus, maybe it's minus. If you understand what the purpose of plus or the purpose of minus is, it will become a lot more easy for you to understand. So basically, adding is when you're looking for the total. You're putting numbers like together, and you're looking for the total. The groups might be equal or they might not be equal, but you're just putting numbers together to find how many you have in all or in total or all together, okay? And now subtraction is just the opposite. So basically, you're looking for the difference. You just want to know how much bigger one number is than the other, or how many more, or how much you have left, or if you're spending money at the store, how much money do you get back? I give you this much, you give me this much back. You're trying to find out how much bigger this number is than that number. That's what minus is, okay? Times, multiplication, you're looking for the total, but the difference between adding and multiplication is when you're multiplying, you have equal groups. You might have 5 groups of 3, 2 groups of 6. So we're looking for the total. We're looking for how many there are all together. You'll see the word each a lot with multiplication. And a lot of the words in the story problems that they use will be similar because multiplication is similar to adding. It's just that multiplication you're counting by equal groups. Okay? And in division, you're looking for the size of the group, or you're looking for the number of groups. But basically, the big idea between division is you're just splitting up. You're splitting something into equal groups. Like if you think about you doing cards, you're dividing when you're handing out the cards. You're handing everybody the same amount, and you're splitting them up equally, okay? So you'll see things too, like everybody gets the same amount or something like that. It'll be like little clues, or each person gets the same number. That means division, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to read you a few story problems, and I want to walk you through and see what kind of math it is and why. So the first one says, Rory has 80 cents. She spends 43 cents, spends 43 cents. How much money does she have left? So she has a certain amount and she's spending money. So I'm not worried about the math, but what kind of math would you need to use to find out how much money she has left? If you're thinking subtraction, you're right, because we want to know how much money, the difference between the amount she spends and the amount of money she has works, okay? Number 2, Henry scored 2 points in each soccer game. He has played in 7 games. How many points did he score in all the games? So we're looking for all, the total. And he played in 7, and each one was 2. So it's equal groups, 2, 2, 2, 2. So if you're thinking this is multiplication, you're right, because I'm looking for the total and I'm counting by equal groups. Joe has 24 model toy cars, and he puts his collection onto 3 shelves. Think about this. He has his collection and he puts them on 3 shelves. He puts the same number on each shelf. How many cars are on each shelf? So think about, what is he doing here? He's got his cars, he's got 24, we know the total. We know the number of shelves. We're just trying to find out how many are on each shelf. And so if you're splitting up the cars. If you're thinking division, you would be right. This would be division. Number 4, Libby's family drove 283 miles on Friday. Then they drove 152 more. How many miles did they travel on both days? So think about this. We know this amount, we know this amount, and we want to know how much on both days. Now, they're big numbers, so it's probably plus or minus, and we're looking for the total. So if you're thinking adding, you're right. It is adding. Number 5, Brecken has a book that's 123 pages. He read 64. How many more does he need to read? So we know the total. We know how many read. We're just trying to find out how much more are left. And so if you're thinking that this is subtraction, you are correct. Let me read you one more. A roll of mints has 10 mints. How many mints are in 4 packages? So each one has 10. 4 groups or 4 packages, 4 groups of 10. If you're thinking multiplication, you're right. So what I would say is with these word problems, just before you start guessing on what it is, think like, what's happening in the story? Am I splitting it up? It's division. Am I getting more? It's adding. Am I counting by equal groups? It's multiplying. Am I just trying to find the difference in 2 big numbers? Well, then it's subtraction. Go slow, read carefully, read these stories twice, and you'll figure it out, no worries, all right? Have a great day, guys.